Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and breezy day. It is Friday the 6th of September and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is a sheaf of scenarios for the Dying Earth setting published by Goodman Games for use with the Dungeon Core Classics role-playing game. Now I've already done an unboxing of the core box and the 0 level funnel and the level 1 adventure, and the next one is Dungeon Core Classics Dying Earth level 2 adventure, the Sorcerer's Tower of Sanguine Slant. So, a gravity-defying tower of frozen blood suddenly appears, vanished for 2 millennium hitherto. It beckons the adventurous. Through exsanguination, the beratement of a Sandistan librarian, appeasing minuscules, dancing the 14 silken movements, and a Pelgrane's share of luck, only those fearless or fortunate will face the tower's imprisoned sorcerer, risk annihilation from an iron stone, and conquer the tower of the Sanguine Slant. So that promises quite a lot, and that feels exactly in keeping with the style sort of the novels by Jack Vance. So, nice piece of artwork inside the front cover. Before we go on to essentially the introduction, which introduces the whole scenario, gives you the adventure background, and then we have adventure hooks for getting the player characters involved. But along with that, we have a table of the dramatis personae, the NPCs involved, and a list of the Vancian glossary, of course, because the Vance's novels use very florid language, and that's part of its charm, but it's something you do have to adapt to as a player and as a judge, of course. There we go, so dramatis personae, list of Vancian terms, and then adventure start outside the tower. Handle things like locks and traps in the Dying Earth, because one of the things about it is that it's not necessarily a setting where you have classic Dungeons and Dragons style characters, barbarians, thieves, rangers, paladins, that sort of thing. It's much more venal and personal than that, and weird. There isn't the sense of sort of like community, particularly amongst the player characters. But anyway, we get on to descriptions of the tower, and perhaps dealing with expeditious adventurers who perhaps avoid parts of the tower. There we go, so we've got advice there. Then move on to the tower itself, which actually is kind of a step tower rather than you would think, one on top of the other. And you've got the various levels there. A little bit of a scrappy style to the floor plans, but they work well enough. And you can see the tower exterior there. So it's quite a weird tower. And then we've got a major NPC in here called Yidway, and you've got advice on how to portray him, and a list of potential books to be found in a library. Always kind of, I actually adore a good dungeon or encounter or a location which has got detailed things like that the player characters will interact with. Oh, it's just a room, but if it's a library or a kitchen or what else is in there, there's always something interesting. It's almost as if, unless a room is exactly designed by IKEA and IKEA doesn't do dungeons, there's always something interesting to be found. So we even have things like a vat chamber with recently activated vats, a hemispherical healing vat, a ready vat, and a repository of failures. So this might be an interesting sort of like scenario to play if you've got a vat man amongst the player characters. But ultimately, you're climbing up. You're going to try and reach the Sanguinarium and go even further. And then Alamancer didn't really like the Witch Chaser Blanco very much anyway. And there he is dealing with her, because sometimes disagreements are going to come between the player characters, perhaps. But ultimately, you climb up to the minuscule habitarium, enter the 4th floor, perhaps visit the bedchamber, and find the Hemo Guardian pool of essentially of blood guardians and other locations, basically to find out what's going on in this temple, why has it reappeared, and how much of a danger is it. Again, another piece of Peter Mullen artwork. Really do like that. And there we come to the epilogue, finishing the adventure with a single handout. Adverts, Empire of the East, of course, and more of Dungeon Crawl Classics and Mutant Crawl Classics titles. The band for the Dying Earth, and that's it. That is the Sorcerer's Tower of Sanguine Slant, a scenario for second level characters for Dungeon Crawl Classics Dying Earth setting. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And of course, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case, a scenario for use with Dungeon Crawl Classics, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so. All, of course, accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.